Are we recording?
Yep.
Perfect. So. Nailed it.
Cool. End video.
Yeah, it'd be, that'll be the thing. Done. You know what? That's the intro. Done. In the first Shrek movie, the titular ogre manhandles about 30 armed guards effortlessly in a wrestling ring. With that in mind, you'd think in a theoretical fighting game, Shrek himself would rank fairly near the top of the tier list. As it turns out though, the real badass of the Shrek universe is Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, there is a Shrek fighting game.
There is, yes, because I believe that we had it when we lived in the same house, just like a PS2 with it on, and it's called Shrek fucking Super Slam, guys. And I'm not kidding, this game is hype as balls. It was released in 2005, and the basic premise is you control various characters in the Shrek universe as they beat the ever-loving shit out of one another. And the thing about a lot of games like this, like Shrek Super Slam, like tie-in cash grab games, is they're usually terrible. But as we're going to get to in a moment, like Shrek Super Slam is fucking awesome, and a lot of people still play it to this day. So is there any like of those games from back in the day, like the crappy cash grab games that you actually liked? Because we used to do that, didn't we? When we were housemates. We had the collection of terrible like PS2 and 1 games.
Yeah, the one that I remember playing a lot of was the Madagascar one.
What do you do in the Madagascar game?
All I remember from it was a long time ago. All I remember is like being Marty and having to escape from the zoo and collecting coins.
Wait, which one's Marty again?
The zebra.
The zebra, okay. And how does he escape from the zoo?
I remember just sneaking like past guards.
Yeah,
like
the famously stealthy animal, the zebra. It's literally got black and white. It could not be more visible in an urban setting unless it's like crossing over a fucking pelican crossing or some shit.
The best character I think was Melman, who's the giraffe.
The giraffe, okay.
His ability was basically helicopter legs, and you could glide.
Yeah. Giraffes well known for their verticality and ability to fly. The V2OL. I'm just imagining now. Why does a giraffe have the same set of abilities as a Harrier jump jet? Why can it just ascend into the air? Oh, I love it. The one for me was A Bug's Life, if you remember this.
Yes.
Do you remember the Bug's Life PS1 game where you'd get like the different coloured berries that did different damage?
Yeah.
I remember that being super fucking good, and I could never complete it because you've got to beat. Is it Thumper or Hopper? Who's the crazy one?
I think it's Thumper.
You've got to beat them at the end, and no one can beat Thumper. It's like it's never been done before. Like there is no long play of Bug's Life on for PS1 on YouTube because you can't beat him. He's too top tier. I remember it's like, how do I beat this fucking grasshopper with a berry? And isn't it like the golden berries that just home in? It's like, I can cheat now, I win.
God, yeah, I forgot about that one because that was one I think I played the most on PS1 and I never got to the end.
I never got to the end either because I couldn't do it. Like Thumper, he's too OP. Like, just please nerf Thumper. I know Disney's out there somewhere and they're like, do you know what Disney should do instead of like, making live action versions of good animated movies that suck ass? They should remake all their old PS1 and PS2 games and make them good. Yeah. Like the Toy Story game, which had like a lot of the original actors except Tom Hanks. Because I think, do you know what he does for all those things? He gets his brother to do it. His brother Jim Hanks does all of the voices for the video games because he sounds exactly like Tom Hanks. And Tom Hanks like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. And apparently that's what his brother just does every now and again. When Tom Hanks doesn't want to do something, they just get his brother in. I think on the set of Forrest Gump, do you know when some of the shots of him just running, to get the pickup shots, they just brought his brother in, put him in the outfit and made him run and just filmed him from behind. It's like, go Jim Hanks, riding those coattails. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just on set with him all the time, and he's up at the back of the headshots and shit like that.
So what is it about this game that makes it so good?
Well, like a lot of those PS2, GameCube era like cash grab tie-in games, it languished in obscurity for many years and was released to middling reviews. But like a couple of years later, some people on Reddit, I believe it was, just randomly put in a copy and realised, like, holy shit, there is a lot of hidden depth to this game. And they like took like characters into the lab, which is like fighting game speak, like practice mode, and went, oh my god, this game is awesome. There is so much stuff you can do. Like, there are Super Smash Bros. Melee levels of like depth to the characters in this game. Like, my favourite example being the character of Gingerbread Man. who can apparently, you can cancel out of one of his animations to basically make every move safe, which I know doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but this will. That move is called by, like, you know, Shrek slammers, which I believe they're super slammers is what they call themselves. That move is referred to as crumpet dashing. And it just involves flying across the screen as low to the ground as possible as Gingerbread Man just grabbing people and suplexing them out of the air. It's like, okay, yeah, let's see where this can go. Well, I think every character is in it, plus like a load of extra ones, because there aren't that many memorable characters in the original Shrek. So they just like smash it out. Oh, here's like the Black Knight. Here's Little Red Riding Hood. Here's just random chucklefuck number 3. And you can clearly tell as well, it's not Mike Myers doing the voice.
It's not very often they do. Like, they get the original actors in, like, so with the Tom Hanks.
Sometimes they do. The Disney Kingdom Hearts, they do. Kingdom Hearts, they fucking don't give a shit. They will throw as much money at the wall as they need to for that. Because I think they got the original voice actress for one of the original Disney princesses back when she was in her 80s. Something like, you can look, I think it's like Sleeping Beauty or something like that. They brought her back. Yeah, brought her back to do the voice, and they got all like the Frozen actors back, and they always get the Final Fantasy voice actors in. No, and the Final Fantasy voice actors, they usually get some of them in. So I think they get like Sephiroth, and it's one of the guys from NSYNC who they always bring in. That's a true fact, by the way. Sephiroth is voiced by one of the guys from NSYNC. It's not Justin Timberlake, so he's not Mr. Sexy back himself. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts, that's the one exception. Fuck it, get everyone. We're Disney and Square. There is no amount of money we can't throw at this project to make it real. They've got all the actors from Frozen back for that.
What happened with Shrek Super Slam?
Yeah, that's the first take we've done that, I swear. It's not that Shrek Super Slam's quite hard to say. Well, Triple S, what that happened was, after players realised there's a lot of depth to this game, like, people started having, like, tournaments for a laugh, but then something weird happened and people realised, like, this game's not just dumb fun and, like, with, like, you know, some depth to it. It's like, it's actually really hype to play and to watch. So these joke tournaments actually started getting pretty serious, and people made like forums and communities online where they, like, you know, shared secret tech with one another, like crumpet dashing, and, like, you know, I think they even went to the point of modding the game itself to remove items. So you can the only way to win is through your own superior skill. That's how, like, you know, dedicated the Shrek slammers are. It's like it started as a joke, and then people realised, no, wait, we can make this. This is real. Let's do it. And I think, like, on YouTube, there are like videos of tournaments of people playing, and this is where where shit gets hilarious. Because if you have anything that's competitive, you're gonna have salt, and the salt in Shrek Super Slam is fucking real.
What do you mean when you say salt?
Well, in any fighting game, there will be something known as a tier list, which basically ranks characters based on how effective they are, and sometimes you have like matchups and that sort of thing. The easiest way to describe it is which character is the best. And in Shrek Super... Oh, God. Whew! That's the first time I've ever nearly dropped a bottle, and it's got water in it. If this was booze, that would have been in my hand. I would have been clutching that like an emperor does a scepter. Anyway, in Shrek Super Slam, the best character in the game, bar none, is Little Red Riding Hood. I am not joking. To give people at home an idea of how good Little Red Riding Hood is, there is a story online of a guy playing the character for the first time and winning a tournament outright. It was his first time playing the game, he won, and someone in that tournament had been playing the game for half a decade. She is so good, she is usually outright banned from most Shrek Super Slam tournaments. That's how fucking good, she's that broken. She's up there with like Ivan fucking Ooze from the Power Rangers fighting game and Meta Knight from Brawl. Like, she's in her own tier. And that story about the guy who won his first ever game and won the entitlement with Little Red Riding Hood, the guy he beasted on was so embarrassed and so ashamed of losing so horribly to Little Red Riding Hood, he quit the game forever and announced his retirement in a Facebook post that simply said, "I'm done." In that vein, what's the worst reaction you've ever seen someone have to losing? Like, maybe not in a video game, just like in general.
Well, I know someone who I used to play games with.
Do I know this person?
Maybe.
I know what we're talking about. Go on, tell the story. We won't say any names.
Years ago, play a lot of games with this person.
Yeah.
And they were very competitive.
Oh, I know what we're talking. I definitely know what we're talking about.
Yeah, so Guitar Hero, it was a game I played a lot of.
Yeah, you were really good at it.
Yeah.
Like, you look it up. Nisha's like got a YouTube channel where she's got all the top strats, like through the fire and the flames, 100%, one combo.
I wish.
Yeah. I'm just making up lies now, I'm sorry.
But no, because I was quite good at it. I was better than this person, and every time we played, they'd get really like annoyed and have to do it again, and I'd spend hours just playing with them.
Did you ever at one point think of like, getting the full band set up? And when you won, and the person said, "Can we have a rematch?" Just pick up the microphone and drop it on the floor, and just say no, and then leave.
I wish,
Because
because I do have the band.
That's what I mean. That's what you should have done. You should have grabbed the microphone and just dropped it and then left. So I think my older brother was he was a very poor loser. And bear in mind, he's like a lot older than me, like 6 years older. So like 8 years old.
Yeah.
I spent all my day inside playing Tekken. I learnt Tenet combo Yoshimitsu, square, triangle, square, circle, 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 square, 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 square. Boom, done. I just did that over and over and over again and beat him at Tekken, and he just gave me a dead leg when I beat him. And you know what? Fucking worth it. I will take that dead leg. I will take that punch to the leg to have like perfected in 2 rounds in a row with Yoshimitsu doing the secret moves that he couldn't figure out. Fuck you. Couldn't stand it. Then my dad had come in and beat me with Kazuya using the Wazuki Yugi move, and then I'd get the one with his salt and I'd go sulk in the corner because I practiced the moves, but my dad had beaten me. It's like, oh. Love you, Dad.
When I was like younger, I used to play like obviously Spyro and Crash.
Yeah.
But I'm not any better at them now that they've been revamped, but I was terrible then, and I'd always be like, Dad, you come in and finish it for
me.
Yeah, and he used to do it for me.
To bring it all back to Shrek though, do you know what the hilarious part of the Shrek Super Slam tier list is?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Oh, no. Oh. Okay. Well, the funny part is that Shrek and Donkey, the titular characters of the Shrek franchise, and characters we know for a fact can fight, are ranked dead last. Each one. I think Donkey's dead last and Shrek is just above him, which means that in a Shrek fighting game, starring Shrek, featuring Shrek, a character we see in the first movie, in the first 10 minutes that was on screen, effortlessly manhandle 30 armed guards in a wrestling ring, is the worst character in a fighting game bearing his name. Oh man, get dunked on, Shrek. So I like the Shrek movies, by which I mean I like Shrek 1 and 2. And I think that's an opinion shared by a lot of people online, but did you ever get like the mimetic status of Shrek, that he's basically like this meme lord of the internet?
Yeah, I can remember like it started years ago. The Shrek is love. Shrek is
no,
life.
I hated that, and for the longest time I avoided that video because I am like a hipstery asshole where if someone tells me to watch something, my first instinct is no. Just no, I'm not doing that. And I think it was at a house party with you. Yeah. And someone put it on, like Joe at the end of the house party where you put YouTube videos on, and someone put it on and everyone was howling with laughter, and I just sat there going, I don't get it. And I think that's why I don't get the eventual success of Shrek, because I wasn't there. I wasn't on the ground floor when it happened. It's so strange, like it's so popular online. Do you know who hates the fact it's popular? Smash Mouth the band. The band Smash Mouth, you can look this up, this is great. Like, on their Twitter, if you go on Twitter right now and you message Smash Mouth about Shrek, you will either get blocked or told to go and fuck yourself because they hate the fact they are now associated with Shrek.
I've just remembered something as well.
Oh God, what is it?
You know when the whole Slender Man game thing was rage and they started making like crappy other versions, like there was the Slender Tubbies.
Don't tell me there was a Shrek
version. There was a Shrek version.
That's amazing.
And you'd walk around the forest in the dark and you just hear, in slow motion, Smash Mouth song. Is
that how they get you? Just like Smash Mouth in slow motion in a minor key. Shrek just comes through the forest. See, I miss that era of video games where every chucklefuck, like all you need to do is just program a monster to follow you after a random amount of time between 0 and 5 minutes through a poorly lit forest, and that's a scary video game. You'll get Markiplier or some shit to play. So there was loads of remixes. I think I did see the Tubbies one, the Teletubbies one, because that was horrifying.
Yeah.
Because have you ever seen the clips of like Teletubbies in black and white?
No.
You could put one in just Teletubbies in black and white with no sound, or just like nursery rhymes in the background is terrifying. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
The thing is, like, it just makes it worse that when you see Shrek appearing out of the darkness, he's just gliding. There was no animation.
Oh, does he not have any walk animation? That's even better, because that makes it so much scarier that he just glides towards you. Like just some tormenting spirit from the afterlife who's just green and smells like onions.